The hero of the story is you, and you're on a journey. You're faced with trials and tribulations, and there are certain catalyst moments in your life, either on a positive trajectory, on the status quo, or to the negative zone. The key here is to find the catalyst that takes you to where you want to go so that you can accomplish your goals. This is a classic before and after story where you, the hero, are on a journey and you get to the promised land.
Hey everybody, welcome into another episode of Rev Show. I'm Rob.
And I'm Ruben.
We are super excited to bring you this Friday edition episode, and this is all about, what's the name of our episode today, Ruben?
I actually can't even remember.
I don't know either.
Who knows? It's Friday.
It could be anything. Who knows? This episode is all about how to make your sales job fun. That's right. Bring the fun back, right, Ruben?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember the good old days when we had fun doing the things that we love? When was that? Was it high school? Was it college? Let's bring that back to your sales job. We can do this together, and we're going on this journey. And we've got a jam-packed episode that's super concise that's going to tell you how to have more fun in your sales job.
Now, before we can have fun, we've got to recognize why it's not fun. Why is your sales job not fun? Well, we're going to talk about that right now. The first reason is going to be not being outcome focused. So what you're doing is you're focusing on the task as opposed to the outcome. Now, Ruben, you had a really good example earlier when you talked about working out and the health benefits. Go there and give that example.
Well, think about this. Do you like working out? Yes, maybe, no. Probably it's a no. Do you like being healthy? Do you like being fit? Do you like that? And that's your outcomes. I don't like cold calling, but I like making sales. So guess what? You like making sales. What you have to do is to cold call and do all the things that we all do because it's a part of the job. And we focus on the results and focus on the outcome, not on the task itself.
One of the other reasons that your sales job is not fun, and this happens a lot, unfortunately, you have bad leadership. You have someone at the top or a team at the top that isn't putting you in the best position to succeed.
Ruben, what's happening? Where are your TPS reports? I was supposed to have them on my desk about an hour ago. Get them over to me.
Why is that? One reason is either A, they don't know what they're doing, or B, it could be nefarious. They're just, want to see you do poorly, which would be really sad. But most of the time, it's just because they're using old, antiquated ways of selling that are not fun, not efficient, and not getting you the results that you want, and you're feeling that, where leadership is telling you to do A when you know B would work better.
And what this might mean is that you're a product of high expectations from leadership, but low amounts of resources, which is training and tools and investment, education, things like this.
And not the right resources sometimes, right?
Yeah, and sometimes, frankly, the wrong resources.
Once you understand how something makes you feel, that feeling is going to make you take a specific action. So if you're feeling good and you're in a good mood, you're probably going to do something fun, or you're going to go do something positive. If you're feeling down, chances are you're not going to do something that positive. So when you're in a sales job that's not fun, it makes you feel upset because your number one thing you want to do, I think we all want to enjoy the work that we do, but if that's not possible to enjoy it at that moment, we can't get ourselves to be so upset that we can't even perform the duties of our job. So when you're in a sales job that isn't fun, the number one feeling most people feel is they feel upset.
There's another really interesting point here, which is that some people don't know that they're in a bad situation. They might just say, I'm stressed, or I'm anxious, or I'm depressed, or I'm just simply unhappy. And quite often, these are simply symptoms for not being in a good situation. And that doesn't mean that you just need to remove yourself from your existing situation. Sometimes it could just mean you need to change your existing situation. One of the most common ones is when you feel like quitting. You want to give up. You want to quit your job. You want to quit the tasks. You want to throw in the towel.
Ruben, I'm out of here.
And just go to the beach.
I'm out of here.
Hey man, I'll see you at the beach.
I'm just kidding. We have fun doing Rev Show. That's what it's all about. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so what you're saying is the best note on how to make your sales job fun is to start a YouTube show, because guess what? It is.
Unfortunately, one of the underliers in this world that, like Ruben just talked about, whether it's recognizable or not recognizable, is stress. Stress is like that silent killer. You could sit there and be like, oh, I'm totally fine. I'm not stressed at all. I'm totally fine. I'm not stressed. Am I talking fast? Why am I talking fast? Because I'm stressed, but I'm not saying that I'm stressed. Well, you probably are stressed. Now, stress comes out in a number of different ways. We found here at Dub that Ruben and Darius, and the team from the top are all about really being empathetic with everything that goes on with Dub, on the backside and the behind the scenes with us. So leadership, again, has a big part of filtering down that positivity to the team. So when you don't have that and your sales job is not fun, stress can start building because you're not getting the results that you want and you're not not enjoying what you're doing, and that's just terrible.
Someone once taught me that stress is an interpretation of conflict, and that if you reinterpret conflict into something proactive, into something productive, into something that's more results oriented, then all of a sudden the stress dissipates. Think about the things that are making your life stressful, and then go back to what the catalyst of those things and ask yourself, how can I reinterpret that? And next up, we're going to be talking about how you can actually completely reinterpret the way that you're dealing with conflict to make it fun instead of stressful.
So here it is, everybody. How to make your sales job more fun. Here it is. The number one reason, sitting right at the top, be creative. And there are a number of tools that you can be creative with, right, Ruben?
Yeah. Think about this for a second. You're already having sales calls. You're already doing demos. You're already writing emails. You're already doing Zoom webinars. Take all of that content, take all of those efforts and figure out a way and turn it into content. Have it a YouTube channel, a podcast, a collection of ebooks, even your own book that you can write. Now is the time to start writing your own book. And if you can't prioritize actually typing out the manuscript, then use video recordings. In fact, one of the most common ways to write a book to get it started is to actually record videos on your phone and then upload those to a podcast platform or YouTube or both, and then work with a ghostwriter to get your book written. I have been through that process and I did it the hard way, but the outcome was fantastic. So we always recommend become a creator.
And through the power of creation comes one of the biggest phrases that we use here at Double the Time. The personal is the professional. So if you're working in an enterprise team or you have your own company, small business, large, whatever it is, obviously there's company branding, but then guess what? Then there's personal branding within those company branding guidelines. When you're being creative, you're leaning into yourself, your authenticity, and you're bringing you out to the forefront. And that's really what creation is all about. Now, the next point that we're going to make about making your sales job fun is to laugh. Yeah, humor. Yeah, I'm laughing at myself.
Have you ever tried laugh therapy? There's a thing called laugh therapy.
Really?
Yeah.
Like therapy to get rid of laughing? No, I'm joking.
That's funny.
I'm joking.
That's funny.
See, that's humor.
I have attended multiple laugh therapy sessions and they're out of this world. You'll go to a park, someone, a leader, will start laughing, and then everyone contagiously starts laughing. It's like sneezing, but it's over and over and over again, and it keeps going. And guess what? More people start to join, randomly.
No, I agree.
And they just start laughing. It's one of the most interesting experiences that you can ever do. The point is that laughing heals us. If we have a job that's challenging, like sales, we need to have healing mechanisms. And humor is one of the best ones that you can have.
And what humor does too, it puts your guard down. You can relate right away. You're like, oh, humor, that was funny. If you can smile together, then you can converse together. And if you can converse together, then you can eventually convert together. The point is, are you laughing? You should be.
If you make them smile, you make a connection. If you make them laugh,
you have a conversation.
You have a conversation. And if you can make them happy, then you have a conversion.
The last reason we're going to cover here is learning.
Everything that we go through has the intention of teaching us and to progress us and to make us better people. All of a sudden it becomes fun. Getting rejected 100 times in a week from prospects. It's not a confidence killer, it's a learning experience. Every piece of challenging situation that you can go through, even some of the traumas that you're experiencing, those things are going to make you tougher, make you smarter, and most of all, they're going to make you more experienced. Look differently about the challenges that you're going through and see those as learning opportunities, not as failures.
And that is a great segue into the next topic, which is one of the most important topics, not only in sales, but in life, reframing. So in life, we always have negative things that come at us, right? Well, we've got to find a way to reframe those things and reposition them into positive areas where we can not only evolve, but we can do things better for ourselves and for people around us. So reframing is very, very important. So one of my favorite expressions is from the movie Copland. Ray Liotta, great actor, R.I.P., mentioned in the movie, don't fight, make a right. So the whole point is, don't fight against it, just make a right. So kind of like in karate, like we've talked about, using the energy, using someone's energy with you, you're flowing with the same direction. So with this, reframing is all about a mindset in a very, very big way. It's about a mindset and understanding what your actions should be. Don't fight, make a right means recognizing the environment, taking that roadblock that's coming in front of you and realizing this is the easier way to go. And when I say easier, I mean more efficient and more effective. Now, as far as the mindset part of it with reframing, you take the negative, you make it a positive. One of my favorite actors of all time, Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, Rambo, his story with Rocky is amazing because all the no's he heard he had this phenomenal script, and he heard no after no after no. We don't want you. We don't want you.
Well, he did get a maybe, which is we'll buy the script, but you can't star in it.
Well, the maybe was such an insult because it was like, we'll buy the script and we're going to pay you to go away.
Yeah.
Which at the time, the money was offered was low for now, but huge for back then. But he stuck to his guns. He reframed it and said, you know what? I'm going to take your no. I'm going to stay with this because this is my story. I know I can tell it the best. And he was right. No one would even know who Sylvester Stallone is in the entertainment world unless he didn't reframe his mindset in terms of, I'm going to take this no and I'm going to turn it into a yes that's going to get Rocky made. One of the biggest things that probably ran through his brain was, don't get discouraged, get determined. Another way to make your sales job fun, and this really is a powerful one we use here at Dubb, is start your own community. Bring people in.
Start a Facebook group, start a YouTube channel, get more connections and followers on your social channels. In fact, pick one social channel and do the absolute best at it and have the other channels be ancillary channels. The idea here is to build your network, to make a community large enough to the point, if you have something to sell or a message to share, it's not just you that's getting the word out, it's your community that's supporting you to get your message out. But that takes being massively value-oriented and focusing on other people's success, not your own. And that's a hard thing to overcome. But when you do it, but once you realize that, your community starts to exponentially grow.
We want to thank you so much for watching today's episode. Making your sales job more fun, how great does that sound? So we hope the suggestions that we've given you today, you can take them, implement them, and start using them right away so you can make your sales job more fun. So if you like this episode, please give us a like. If you want to throw a comment below, please do that. We love the comments. If you have Dubb, throw a Dubb video below. We love that as well. And please consider subscribing to our channel.
And remember, if you can make them smile, you can make a connection. If you can make them laugh, you can have a conversation. But if you can make them happy, you can have a conversion.
See you next episode, everybody. Right, that's reframing?
Yeah.
Okay. No? Or do you have anything? Like, what are we saying for that? I don't even know.
I just realized, do I have small head? That's funny.
Do you have small head?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Okay, back here.
That's funny.